The Anchor Hocking Glass Corporation brings you Crime Photographer.
Say, Casey, I'll bet you photographed a lot of famous people.
Well, I'm not so sure, Ethelbert.
How come?
Well, it's like this. Many a guy who looks like a ball of fire today is nothing but a wet match tomorrow.
Oh, I get it. You gotta wait before you're sure a guy is really famous.
Right. Sometimes it takes years and years to ensure fame.
Sure, like the years and years of leadership that have made Anchor Hocking the most famous name in glass. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tony Marvin. Every week at this time, the Anchor Hocking Glass Corporation of Lancaster, Ohio, and its more than 10,000 employees bring you another adventure of Casey, crime photographer, ace cameraman who covers the crime news of a great city. Written by Alonzo Dean Cole, our adventure for tonight, The New Will. One of the showplaces of our city is the mansion of multimillionaire Bradford Randall. In the richly furnished library of this mansion at 8 o'clock in the evening, Randall, his daughter Agatha, and a dapper, handsome man face each other in angry...
This is one time, Father, that you're not going to have your own way. I've made up my mind to marry Giuseppe, and that is that.
Oh, no, Agatha. You only think you're going to make this gigolo my son-in-law.
Do not call me a gigolo, Mr. Randall.
Oh, then what are you?
I'm a man of honor who comes to you like a gentleman and asks for your daughter to be my wife. And for that, I'm insulted.
How much money have you got, Mr. Ranover?
I'm Count Ranover.
All right, Count. But answer my question.
Money is not everything.
Well, you're not finding a soft spot with me.
Father, I won't let you.
Shut up, Agatha. Now then, you get out of here, Ranover, and stay out.
If he goes, I go with him.
If you do anything foolish, Agatha, you'll regret it. And so will your boyfriend. And to convince you both that I mean business, I'm going to make out a new will tomorrow that will cut off Agatha with the minimum bequest allowed by law.
Father.
You know I don't bluff, Agatha. Tomorrow morning, I'll have Devins draw up a new will. And it'll stand until you come to your senses.
Come on, Giuseppe. Let's get out of here.
Yes, Agatha.
You'll be back, my dear, and still single.
You? Oh, I absolutely hate you.
I'll show you I don't bluff. Hello, this is Bradford Randall. Call Mr. Devins to the phone, will you? Hello, Devins. I've got a job for you to do first thing in the morning. No, wait a minute. You better do it tonight. I want a new will drawn up, and I want you to bring it here to me within the next couple of hours. Don't argue. Do as I tell you. Well, that's better. Now get yourself a pencil, Devins, and take notes of what I say. Well, looks as though you've done a pretty good job with this new will on short notice, Devins. So, I'm leaving practically my entire estate to, the Society for the Relief and Rehabilitation of War Victims and Displaced Persons.
You told me to name some charity. Any charity as your beneficiary?
Oh, it'll do. And of course, when that nitwit daughter of mine agrees to forget about her count, we'll destroy this and make her an heiress again. Yes, I was going to have you draw this new will up tomorrow, but Agatha and her lounge lizard might be getting married while you're doing it. But they won't after I spring this on her at breakfast. Oh, we'll need witnesses to make this good, I suppose.
Naturally.
Well, I'll get my butler and... Fieldston!
Yes, Mr. Randall.
Fieldston, get one of the other servants and come in here, will you?
There's only the upstairs maid on duty now, sir. It's after 11
Well,
o'clock.
she'll do. Get her and hurry up, will
Very
you?
well, sir. Very well.
After 11. By the time I get
Now,
home...
quit your crabbing, Devins.
Well, why shouldn't I
You'd
crab?
better not. I made you, and I can break you.
Oh, I didn't mean it.
Here is Sophie, the maid.
Oh,
sir.
come in, Sophie, come in. I want you and Fieldston to sign a paper.
What kind of paper, sir?
What does that matter? Here's a pen. Here.
Excuse me, sir, but I have been told never to sign my name to anything I have not read over, sir.
When you work for me, you do as I tell you.
Wait a minute, Mr. Randall.
Huh?
From a legal standpoint, this girl and your butler must know what they're signing. Sophie, Fieldston, this document is a new will in which Mr. Randall bequeaths the bulk of his estate to the Society for the Relief and Rehabilitation of War Victims and Displaced Persons.
Oh, if that is the case,
You
sir...
needn't have explained all that in order to make the thing legal, Devons. I'll tear this will up as soon as that girl of mine gets some sense. Well, here's my John Hancock.
Now, you sign here, young woman, as a witness.
Yes, sir.
You, Fieldston, here.
Very good, sir.
All right. That's all. You can go now.
Thank you, Mr. Randall.
Yeah. Oh, Fieldston,
Yes, sir.
have me called at 7 in the morning.
Yes, Mr.
And
Randall.
get my daughter up at the same time. I want her to have breakfast with me.
Bring up some more lemons, Walter.
Okay, Ethelbert.
I should get more sleep.
Hello, Ethelbert.
Huh?
Casey,
All right, pal. I think so. I'm never sure at this hour of the morning.
what are you doing around here? It's only a little after 8.
Working the early shift this week, 8 in the morning till 4 p.m. Have Walter rustle me up some coffee, will you, pal?
Hey, Walter, breakfast for Casey. Bring it here to the bar.
Okay.
I suppose you reported for work, then made a quick sneak before your city desk got wise. Huh?
Guy's got to eat, doesn't he?
Well, look at me. I already had 6 wheat cakes, half a grapefruit, a plate of ham and eggs, 2 cups of coffee, pineapple. I feel fine.
Yeah, you're looking. Well, don't mention food again till I get some.
Casey,
Well, hello, Annie. Good morning.
come on, get on your bicycle. We're going places.
What? Not till I exercise my
Oh,
teeth,
yes,
Annie.
we're going to Bradford Randall's house right now.
Bradford Randall's?
The Bradford Randall. One of his servants went to call him about an hour ago, about 7 o'clock, and found him dead with a bullet through his heart. Captain Logan and his homicide squad are at the house now.
Holy jump.
Bradford Randall's one of the biggest guys in this town.
And one of the crookedest, too.
But his murder is front page and double column, Casey. Come on.
Okay, cancel my breakfast, Ethelbert.
It'll be on the fire by now,
Well, then
Casey.
eat it yourself.
But I had... well, after all, I ate just a little snack almost an hour ago.
Our story will continue in just a moment. How many times have you said to yourself, I'd give anything in the world for a cup of coffee right now? Now, what you meant was that you wanted a cup of good, hot, steaming coffee without having to fuss around in the kitchen and without waiting even a minute. Well, here's the answer. Just a cup, a spoon, and a glass jar. A glass jar of soluble coffee. Put a spoonful of this new kind of coffee in a cup, add hot water, and there you are. It's as quick as that. It's as convenient as that if you make sure to buy your soluble coffee in a glass jar. You see, glass jars are easy to open. Just a twist of your wrist, that's all. Then there's the matter of flavor and freshness. Anchor glass jars protect soluble coffee from moisture or any other contamination. Enjoy all of the convenience of soluble coffee products by insisting on glass jars. Most of the better packers of soluble coffee protect their products by using clean, sanitary Anchor glass containers and Anchor caps. Both products of Anchor Hocking. The most famous name in glass.
What happened, Captain Logan?
One of the servants discovered Randall dead in his bed when she went to call him, Miss Williams. He'd been shot through the heart around 3 a.m., the M.E. says, with his own gun, a .45 automatic. We found the gap, but it had been wiped clean of the fingerprints.
Well, that rules out suicide. Any suspects, Captain?
Too many, Miss Williams. Off the record, suspect number 1 is a party boy who calls himself Count Giuseppe Renova. He'd been out with Randall's daughter and brought her home about an hour before the murder was committed.
What's his possible motive?
You don't read the gossip columns, Casey. Miss Ronova's been giving Miss Randall a heavy rush.
Yeah, she was all set to marry the guy. Some of the servants heard a noisy quarrel between Randall, his daughter, and Renova early last evening, during which Randall said he'd disinherit her if she didn't give Renova the heir. He threatened to change his will first thing this morning. But after daughter and boyfriend left, both pretty sore, Randall got his lawyer and executed a new will last night. It cuts Agatha Randall out of the estate, and how?
Yeah, but at 3 a.m., when he was murdered, Renova thought she was still a big heiress.
That's the picture. And she's suspect number 2. Either one killed Randall to prevent him making a new will, which they didn't know had already been made.
I've met Agatha Randall, and I can believe she'd kill her own father if he got in her way.
Oh, she must be a sweet character, just like her old man. But what are your other suspects, Logan?
Anyone who was in this house. For instance, there are 16 servants, and the only one who seems sorry that Randall's dead's the butler, Fieldston. I'm not convinced he's very sincere.
Popular guy, this Randall. Renova, after he left Miss Randall at the door downstairs, could have gotten into this bedroom by climbing that trellis, Logan, you know?
Sure. And so could anyone else. Howard Devens, for example.
Randall's lawyer?
He had no love for his boss.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Now, I'm expecting Devens here any minute. I'm letting him have the will we found. He'll need it to settle the estate.
Where'd you find the will?
Lying folded on top of that dresser. Well, let's get out of this room and go downstairs.
Oh, I beg your pardon, sir.
What are you doing outside this door, Fieldston?
I was just about to knock, Captain. Mr. Devens has arrived, and I came to tell you, sir.
Where is he?
Downstairs in the library with Miss Randall. And Count Renova's there also, sir.
Get that maid who was your co-witness to the will last night, Fieldston, then both of you come to the library.
I'll get Sophie at once, sir.
Come on, Miss Williams. Casey.
You know, Logan, it looked as though that butler was listening at the door.
It looked very much that way.
Why do you want him and that maid in the library, Captain?
To verify their signatures on the will before I hand it over to Devens.
Oh, I see.
Now, there's the library.
Now, I won't believe that will can stand up in court, Mr. Devens. My father never meant to cut me off.
I drew that will, Miss Randall, and it'll stand up.
But...
Oh, Captain Logan.
You're Mr. Devens?
Yes.
Mind if I shoot some pictures here, Logan?
Oh, go ahead, Casey.
I mind. I've had enough of you policemen and newspaper people around here. This is my house, and I won't...
Remember the will, Miss Randall. This is not your house.
Oh, Giuseppe, what am I going to do?
Do not worry, my Agatha. I will find lawyers who will break for us that crazy will.
Well, of
Count
course,
is an optimist, Annie.
Ridiculous.
And how he declares himself in. Isn't this a gorgeous room?
It's about the last word, I say. No windows in it. I guess that's for all year-round air conditioning, huh?
Mm-hmm. And invisible lighting.
I'll lay down this film case, get a few shots.
Oh, excuse me, Captain. Here is the maid, sir.
Oh, yes. You're the girl who witnessed Mr. Randall's will last night with Fieldston?
Yes, sir.
Well, look, I can't make out the signature. What's your name?
Zofia Jadwiga Elżbieta Kupowajczyk.
No.
I think Captain Logan will call you Sophie.
Yeah. Well, look at this document, Sophie. Is it the one you witnessed?
I have been told never to say a thing I'm not sure of, sir. Can I look at the paper close and careful?
Yes, I want you to. Here, take it.
Thank you, sir. What is that?
I shot a picture of you, Sophie. Sorry if the flashbulb startled you.
It did, sir. Excuse me for being so foolish.
Look, do you identify that will?
It looked like the paper I saw.
Look at the signature, Sophie, and the rest of it. Is it your signature?
Oh, yes, it is me. I write that last night. It is the will.
Yeah, I'm glad we got that settled. Hey!
What happened to the lights?
Where's the switch? Turn on those lights.
I'll find the switch, sir. There.
Oh, what?
Sophie.
What happened to you?
Somebody hit me when the lights go out and pulled that paper from my hand.
The will.
The will is gone.
All right, every one of you's been searched, and we didn't find the will. But someone in this room switched off the lights, struck Sophie, and took the will from her hand, and whoever did it isn't going to get away with it. Now, the thing's somewhere in this library, and my men will find it if they have to tear the walls down. Sergeant. Yes, sir. You and the boys go to work.
Okay, Captain.
Everybody else, get out of here.
You can seriously believe that I had anything to do with this strange theft?
You were in this room, and the will disappeared, Devens.
But, of course, you consider poor Miss Randall your principal suspect, Captain.
What makes you think my principal suspect isn't you, Mr. Renova?
Count Renova.
Now, all of you get out of here. Now, don't try to leave this house.
Come, Giuseppe. It'll be a pleasure to get away from these people.
A great pleasure, my Agatha.
Hey, you and Miss Williams get out, too, Casey.
Okay, let me get my film case, pal.
I'll bring your photographic case, Mr. Casey.
Oh, thanks, Fieldston. Well, just put it down in the hall here.
Very good, sir.
I'm closing this library door, Sergeant. And don't let anybody in, and don't you or the boys come out until you find that will.
Okay, Captain. Will you need me any more, sir?
No, go on about your business, Fieldston. I'll find you if I want you.
Very good, sir.
Casey, come into this room. And you, Miss Williams. I want to have some gab without any interruptions. Look, what do you think?
That job was timed beautifully, Logan. Right after I'd used up a flash bulb. If I'd had another one set in my camera, I could have touched it off and caught the thief dead to rights.
Oh, didn't either of you notice who stood nearest that light switch just before the room went dark?
I didn't.
Neither did I. But I'm sure 3 people weren't anywhere near the light switch. That's yourself, Logan, the lawyer, Devins, and that little maid, Sophie.
Now, that leaves Agatha, Renova, the butler, Fieldston, you, Casey, and Miss Williams.
See, I just thought of something, Logan. Yeah? That butler, Fieldston, closed the door when he came into the library. But if that door had been open, the room wouldn't have gone entirely dark.
Hey, and Fieldston was trying to get an earful outside that room upstairs.
What was that?
It's a man.
Upstairs, come on.
I see him. Say, it's the butler.
He's lying on the floor.
His head is covered with blood.
Someone socked him.
Turn him over, Logan. Open his coat.
Yeah, and his heart's beating. He's only knocked out.
Hey, that paper sticking out of the inside pocket of his coat.
Casey, it's the stolen will.
Oh, my head.
Now, look, the doc says you haven't been badly hurt, Fieldston. You were just put to sleep pretty rough. Now, tell us about it.
Yeah, we're very curious.
Well, all I know, gentlemen, is that I was passing along the upstairs hall, and when I passed the door of Miss Randall's room, I thought I heard it open, then something hit me.
Did you see the person who hit you?
No, Captain.
This is what you were hit with.
That silver candlestick.
Yeah. You recognize it?
It usually stands on Miss Randall's dressing table.
You heard Miss Randall's door open just before you were caught.
I thought I did, yes. Captain, do you think Miss Randall...
I'm asking the questions, Fieldston. And here's the one that pays the grand prize. Why was that will in your pocket?
Will?
Randall's new will.
No, I don't know what...
Now, don't try to play innocent. You hit Sophie in that library and snatched the will.
I did nothing of the kind. You searched me.
We know why the will wasn't on you when you were searched, fella, and how you got it out of the library.
Mr. Casey, I swear...
Save it. And the way I helped your scheme, Fieldston, with my film case. You stuck the will in that film case after you snatched it and before you turned on the lights. And then you carried the case out in the hall where I was dumb enough to leave it. Then you opened the case and put the will in your pocket.
That isn't true. What possible motive could I...
You knew that Agatha Randall, or Ranova, would pay anything you asked for that will. They wanted to destroy it.
And evidently, they double-crossed you. Now, are you going to protect the person who tried to kill you, or are you going to talk?
I'm going to talk.
You're a sensible guy.
My head is beginning to clear, Captain. Now I realize that I've been double-crossed. Count Renova told me that he and Miss Randall would pay me $500,000 if I could get that new will. Well, I got it. But they double-crossed me. One of them tried to kill me. You bring them here, and I'll tell them that to their faces.
Get him, Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
Well, Casey, I guess that takes care of that.
It takes care of that, Logan, but you still got the murder of Randall to solve.
Captain Logan put Miss Randall and that Count Runover under arrest, huh, Casey?
Yeah, he's holding him for questioning, Ethelbert, which means they're in jail without formal charges being lodged against him.
They've admitted nothing and denied everything, Ethelbert. And as sore as the butler is against them, he admits he didn't see either of them hit him.
I have a hunch that neither Agatha nor her phony Count bumped off Randall.
Hunches aren't accepted as evidence either, Mr. Casey.
Well, who else could be the culprit, Casey?
Culprit?
Yeah.
Oh, look, pal, you've been reading that bad literature again. Culprit. Where do you get words like that? Out of True Detective comics?
No, William D. Shakespeare mentions culprits, and Allen Edward Poe and Charles Makepeace Dickens.
Yeah, you win, pal.
Well, then tell me, who else besides Runover and Miss Randall...
Look, I'm going to ask you a question, my literary friend. Pal, if you were a lawyer, would you kill a client right after he'd signed a will leaving his money to charity, a legitimate charity that you selected, and then bust a second guy over the head in order to prevent that will from being destroyed by the daughter?
This is, hypothetical question, huh, Casey?
Yeah, highly hypothetical, Ethelbert.
Extra highly hypothetical.
Oh, Andy, lay off. Come on, what's your answer, pal?
Am I a lawyer making good dough?
Plenty, yeah.
Have I got a wife and kids?
Now, wife, no kids.
How do I get along with the old lady?
Okay, at least there's no scandal about you, anyway.
See, I gotta ask these questions, Casey, because I'm awful ignorant about the lawyer I am, see?
I see. Well, now that you're enlightened, how about it?
Tell me one thing more. Have I got good sense?
Well, I think the lawyer has.
Say, was that a crack?
I don't know what you mean, pal.
Oh. Well, after mature deliberation, Casey, I've come to the conclusion that if I got dough, a happy family life, and ain't no crackpot, I would be a first-degree chump to take a chance of broiling myself in a hot seat by doing a job of murder.
Yeah, that's the same conclusion I reached, Ethelbert.
Now that you have Devons out of the way, where you go from here?
I don't know, Annie, but I still have my hunch.
Well, try eliminating all the Randall servants now. None of them like their boss or his daughter. Start with that little housemaid, Sophie. You can get rid of her quickly.
I'm not giving that poor washed-out gal a second thought.
That the dame who Fieldstone gave the black eye when he snatched the will?
A Polish girl. Awfully sweet. I spent quite a little time talking to her, Casey.
Yeah?
She's been in this country only a few years. She's a war refugee.
So?
Poor thing. You know what the war did to Poland. The Germans invaded and the Russians invaded. And she and her family had a terrible time.
How could she stand working for a guy like Randolph? Amongst all the other crooked things he did, he was a notorious war profiteer.
She witnessed that new will. She was told its provisions. Annie, come on. We're going to call on Sophie.
Yes, Mr. Casey. I killed Mr. Randall. And I hit that butler Fieldstone, too.
I was pretty sure you did, Sophie. After I started thinking, I wouldn't have accused you otherwise.
If you had not accused, I would have told the police anyway soon. Because now I'm sure they will not again lose that bad man's new will.
It leaves his money to the society, doesn't it, for the relief of war victims?
Yes.
The will won't be lost again. And it won't be broken, Sophie.
I believe you, Miss Williams.
Tell us what you meant to tell the police.
In our town, in Poland, war was very bad. I see my mother killed, and my father. My little sister Paula and I, we sleep in streets and get food where we can get it from. You would not like to hear about that. It is not nice to think of it. Before, I have seen my two brothers taken away by soldiers. They never come back. Finally, my little sister, Paula, she lied down to sleep and do not wake. She was too hungry. Things happened to me, too, in the war. But I'm strong and I live. I have uncle in America who get me over here, where I get job in Mr. Randall's house. Sometime I can hear Mr. Randall say how the war has made him more rich than he was before. Then last night he asked me to witness that will.
Which left his money to war victims.
Yes, and he say something which made me know he would change the will if he had the chance and leave everything to his daughter again, a woman as bad as he is.
You didn't give him the chance?
No. I went to his room while he was sleeping, and I used the gun I know he keep there.
How about Fieldstone?
I saw him take the will he had stolen from your box, Mr. Casey. I suspect he will sell it to Miss Randall, who will destroy it. I slip into her room and get candlestick. I think that is all. Now, Miss Williams, Mr. Casey, take me to police.
Casey?
Yes.
I'm not afraid, and I have no regret. You see, we who have felt war have died many times. Another time does not matter.
We'll join the crowd at the Blue Note in just a moment. Just in time for Christmas shopping, Anchor Hocking presents the perfect answer to your problem of giving something beautiful and practical. A set of jadeite dinnerware. Jadeite, spelled Jadeite, Jadeite. It has the lovely texture of Chinese porcelain, the color of green jade. It's as sturdy and heat-proof as the Fire King oven glass you bake with. Almost anyone will be delighted to receive a beautiful 35-piece Jadeite dinner service consisting of 6 cups, 6 saucers, 6 dessert plates, 6 salad plates, 6 dinner plates, 1 vegetable bowl, a platter, and a sugar and creamer set. All of this for less than $5. Jadeite, a product of Anchor Glass, can also be purchased in open stock. Now, you'll find Jadeite dinnerware at chain stores, department stores, and most other stores selling chinaware and glass. Ask for Jadeite by name, the newest triumph of Anchor Hocking. The most famous name in glass.
We who have felt war have died many times. Another time doesn't matter.
What's that, Casey?
Huh?
What'd you say?
Nothing.
He's been muttering to himself like that ever since Sophie repeated her confession to the cops, Ethelbert.
I guess I have, Eddie.
What'll be done about that girl, Sophie?
Should be sent to a hospital for the criminal insane.
The docs say she's crazy, huh?
In the legal definition. She's incapable of distinguishing between right and wrong.
She never had much chance to get acquainted with what's right in the legal definition, did she?
No, Ethelbert. She didn't even realize that there's never a justification for murder.
That's a fact, Annie. Yeah, and many people in Europe and Asia are just like her. People who as children saw nothing but war, and whose only teaching was that might makes right, and that the end justifies the means. Boy, we're just lucky that philosophy hasn't become basic training for a lot of American kids. So far. The anniversary of Pearl Harbor was last Sunday, and in 2 weeks we celebrate Christmas. I think a lot of people over here have forgotten the meaning of both those days.
It's time all of us started thinking and doing.
Crime Photographer, starring Stotts Cotsworth as Casey, is brought to you each Thursday by the Anchor Hocking Glass Corporation, makers of Fire King oven glass, Anchor glass containers, Anchor caps and closures. All products of Anchor Hocking, the most famous name in glass. Crime Photographer is directed by John Dietz. The original music is by Archie Blyer, and the program features Miss Jan Miner as Anne and John Gibson as Ethelbert. Herman Chittison is the Blue Note pianist. Lives are lost needlessly every year when people die of tuberculosis. You do your part to prevent tuberculosis when you buy and use Christmas seals. And be sure to do your Christmas mailing early. This is Tony Marvin saying goodnight for the Anchor Hocking Glass Corporation of Lancaster, Ohio, with offices in all principal cities of the United States and Canada. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.